carries, 140 yards, but let's not forget, one of those is counted on that fake punt.
Well, that was Steel Chambers, and now they're going to throw it across the field again to Melton. We saw that to start the game. And Melton has a lot of speed, and he's got a lot of space. Bo Melton, 10-5 touchdown. The second half, Rutgers has pulled every trick out of their bag. That might be the biggest one of the night, and it works to perfection. Greg Schiano pulling out all of the stops, and this is a Big Ten standout by Auto Owners Insurance.
Not the prettiest pass back to Bo Melton on the trick play, but when he reverses field, you said it, he had a wall, and you see why Bo Melton, the four-star recruit back in the day.
Best rushing league they've had the second half.
And now they'll reverse it with White. White's got the edge, and Cody White is into the end zone. Michigan State leads.
If your quarterback is struggling, you got to find another way to move the ball. I give credit here to Michigan State and what they did. Dave Warner here calling this play for Cody White.
Their first play of over 20 yards.
Make it to Hayward. Just a little flip to White. Couple good blocks out front. One of them by the tight end, Matt Soka.
For Purdue, Michigan 32-yard line.
They're going press man coverage, man free back in the safety, but still. Oh, and the lateral down the sidelines, Tardy to the end zone, touchdown! Michigan was in man-to-man coverage, which helps this play immensely.
We're underway. Knopf from the 3. And he reverses it to Hunt. Look at this. To the 40. He may go. He's got a convoy down the sidelines for the touchdown.
Coming back deep at the 27.
Coming deep.
And the ball fielded on the opposite side. How about this? Utah's going to run it in for a touchdown. 69 yards. Wow. Booby Hobbs. Watch all the Oregon players. They're going to take off to the right because Britton Covey is going to fake the fair catch. You see how he's drifting off to his left, and they all follow him. The ball's being caught way up here at the top of your screen. Right there. All the Oregon defenders except for one are on the wrong side of the field. And he takes it back for a touchdown.
Is that close to where you're from? Here goes Barkley. Oh, Barkley's going to throw! Saquon Barkley!
To the turnover. Rotsman throws it on the fake. Completes to Efall, the tight end. Kyle Efall inside the TCU 40.
Little flea flicker fake. Knox on the keep and Knox on the run. Nice move in the open field. A duck under and Knox inside the 20-yard line.
And so Knox is going to do the old okey-doke right here. Yeah, I'm going to flip it.
Opportunity, but they've lacked to take advantage of it. And now they're going to go trick play. They flip it back to Lane. He's got Cox wide open, and he scores a touchdown. Jake Cox with a trick play, and the Vandals look up at Autzen Stadium and say, we're here. After the fourth down failure. Cameron Pope on.
Oh, this is so good. Look at Cox right there. 33. Fakes like he's blocking. One pitch, two, down the sideline. Doesn't step out of bounds. And I'll tell you what, the offensive line, they don't go past 3 yards down. And they run it. Iowa diving. Purdue driving, and that's Durham with the first down on the fake punt. There was a lot of talk about the fact Ohio State had a fake punt called. It would have been wide open, and they actually didn't execute it because it snapped back to the punter. That looked a little like what Ohio State was trying to do a week ago on that fourth down just across the 50. And here it's Payne Durham. Looks like he just...
OU has now scored 48 points off turnovers this year, first in the Big 12. Nick Hodgson. And this will be Eccles Looper throwing it across the field. Caroline with blockers. Caroline, flag on the play as he crosses the 45. Dimitri Flowers with the tackle on special teams.
Oh, there he is, right there. He was laying down and just totally hit himself in the middle of the O and Horned Frogs in the end zone. So he didn't attract any attention. That's like when you have your young child and you teach him to play dead.
Which I'm not sure very many people thought Rutgers was going to beat Michigan State week 1. It kind of helps set the culture you want to have there in Piscataway.
Little fake play, and that worked very well. Into the hands of Pacheco, and Pacheco in a foot race. And Isaiah Pacheco finally tracked down by Tyreek Smith inside the 5. Or rather, that was Proctor who tracked him down. But that is a Big Ten standout presented by Auto Owners Insurance.
Yeah, Pacheco just takes the direct snap. He's lined up in the tailback position, but he jumps in front of Vedral. Vedral acts like the ball goes over his head. What that does
on the entire ball game. Vedral. Another trick play. How about this? Throwing it back to the left to the big man, Raekwon O'Neal, the left tackle. And you may have guessed, but that's his first career touchdown.
This is the stuff, Brandon, I tell you what, that keeps you up. Unbalanced formation. Big O'Neal is eligible on the backside as the end man on the line of scrimmage. Ohio State does not pick him up.
He's going to attempt a 19-yard field goal. Oh, no, they're going to fake it. Schmidt's going to keep it, and it's a touchdown. Abracadabra for the Sooners as they find Paydirt on fourth down.
We'll take a look at this from the end zone. I asked Coach Venables, hey, are you going to try to steal one on teams? They slip to the kicker right here. Schmidt
count for number 7 on every snap. Second down and 9. They'll pitch it. Now they'll throw it back to Sims. Sims can't grab it, and he does finally delivers. It's a touchdown! Wow! Alex Bullock wide open. Nebraska makes chicken salad. That was wild. First, they're going to pitch it back to Grant, 23. Here's the pitch. Now Grant is going to try to get up near the line of scrimmage. Has to be backwards. Looks to be backwards. Tips off of the quarterback Sims' hands. He picks it up, and it's a wide open.
Behind O'Connell. Here they fake the pitch back. Maccabee with running room gets a first down and more. Maccabee hurdling.
And a big stop for the Scarlet Knights.
And now a fake, and it works to perfection. First down and more. And then a fumble at the end, but was Steel Chambers down? Yes, he was. Rutgers was not ready for that. Chambers took it and goes 37 yards, and Ohio State keeps the possession.
If Chambers is at the up back there and just takes the direct snap.
The ball was fumbled forward. The ball's brought back to the side of the fumble. First down.
We came in tonight thinking that Greg Schiano was going to do a bunch of trick plays. He opened up with the opening kick return. But how about
USC faced Big Game Bob and the Oklahoma Sooners and ran him out of the building in that national championship. They'll throw it out to Edwards. Edwards fires. He's got a wide open man. Oh, it's caught. Robert Wilson. Touchdown,
yards in this game. Ahmed comes in motion. This could be a trick play. Fuller on a double pass. That's a Washington touchdown. Right back to Bryant.
You think with weather like this, you throw out those special plays in the playbook. Not the case whatsoever. Bush Hamden pulls one out, and it's all about the lateral here, and then you're going to see Hunter Bryant. He's going to release downfield and gets lost and really caught up in everything. And this was set up by a play earlier in this drive. The quick screen out to Savon Ahmed, you thought maybe.
So second down in the yard for Arizona State, trying to quickly answer Texas Tech's go-ahead touchdown. It's a trick play. They'll flip it back to Wilkins. He's got a wide open man. It works to perfection. It's a barrage touchdown. 39 yards, trickery, and a score for the Ducks.
So many things going on right now. You got the handoff, what looked to be with the reverse that was pitched back, and then you find Barrage down the field all by himself.
At the end, that gave them the confidence in the field that this could be something special this season.
Third down and 6 and trickery. Brent Castillo picks up a first down. Got a late flag. Late hit out of bounds. Dangerous yet effective.
You know what? Everybody talks about it with a game like this, with Utah going up against Alabama, some trickery at some point.
After the runner went out of bounds, personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense, number 49. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
We've been waiting for it. Was it going to be in special teams, something on the offense? The motion from around the back, the catch, the flip, a critical third down. They wait all the way until just over 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter on a critical third down.
He needs to be better this week.
Lazaro will get a pitch from Ward going up top. Looking, and he's got his man. It's Childress. Flags on the play, but a big strike here for the Chippewas on the first play from scrimmage.
Won a couple of Pac-12 championships just a few years ago, and Colorado's taking all of that out now.
Here's the reverse. Trickery. Hunter steps up. Hunter dives. Touchdown, Colorado. Travis Hunter. To 24 bucks. We coming, they said. The man said we coming on his first day. Well, guess what? They're here because of him.
Hunter on the left side. Pitch from Opperdal, dead to rights. You got 4 Utes there, and then he leaps over another for a touchdown. Travis Hunter has played every single snap.
He's 1-1. The start against Penn State, and then the first win that he picked up, and a little trickeration to get things going. Thorne finding Caden Reed. First play from scrimmage. Touchdown! Stadium this year.
From the pistol formation, everyone on the defense, everyone in Spartan Stadium bit on Kenneth Walker being handed the football. The entire defense of the Penguins thought this handoff was going to happen because of the way things started last week. If there was any bugaboo from the performance of Peyton Thorne last week, missed a few of these deep play opportunities. Not so much on play number 1, Jaden Reed to the house.
How about back-to-back weeks?
Today on the ground for Texas Tech, they had 72 in their game against Arizona State. Everybody gets to touch it. Jonathan Giles gets away. Jonathan Giles will take it. Touchdown.
3rd down and goal. Oh, it's an end around. Wants to throw it. Page looking to the quarterback, and it's a touchdown.
35. And they reverse it. Vester wants to throw it. Now tucks it. Cuts across the field. Raquan Vester down the sideline. Can he get a block? Yes! Touchdown!
Hooped by Francis, and it's fielded at the goal line. And they're going to throw it back across. Now, Laquiviante Gonzalez was laying down in the end zone. That was a very interesting attempt at a decoy.
With the blue end zone. And there he is. Oh, you don't see me. You don't see me. I'm all blue. I'm a camouflage. That was almost a bad throw. That ball almost hit the ground.
And this is going to be a fake. Lewerke pitches it out. And it's a touchdown for the kicker, Matt Cox.
From the 35, high snap, handled, and he'll fake it. He's got a lane. Ertzlaven, 1st down, Texas Tech. Oh, he's still going. The punter, touchdown.
Spartan 32. Cousins under a blitz. Lets it go over the middle. There's the lateral. Oh, look at this. We're right down the sideline.
Single safety for the Terrapins. They fake it. Driving the right side and firing deep is Brennan Mack. And he is wide open. It's Freddie Johnson.
On the 25-yard line, they swing it outside and start with a trick play with a throwback to Blau. A convoy in front, and David Blau takes it near midfield.
3rd down. Quick toss, then the flip to Barkley. Barkley with a little trickery into the air, and Barkley down to the 1.
Have to boot it back to the 6th-ranked Wolverines. And a pooch kick. And they're going to throw it back the other side. How about this? A.J. Henning. A.J. Henning. See you later. Touchdown, Michigan.
A.J. Henning for the return. A Michigan touchdown.
Going on the field, a backwards pass and a touchdown.
And a pretty nice backwards pass across the field by Michael Barrett.
How about that? Definitely schemed it up. Makes a beautiful throw back to Henning. And then he has the wall and the speed to outrun all the leverage and pursuit angles of Maryland's kickoff unit.
They're going for it here. 4th down and 1. It's back. Pop pass over the top. Easton Dean! See ya!
Are you kidding me?
Play design artistry both ways.
Yeah, the eyes lie. How do you leave this guy? Because you committed to stopping that run. Run on 1st, run on 2nd, run on 3rd. Give that defense something to think about, and then when they sell out, you crush them.
That's Huntington Reed move over. Turpin as well. Turpin to throw back to Hill. What's Kenny Hill going to do? Pick up a 1st down with a 360. To the 20. Kenny Hill is in for the touchdown. TCU takes the lead right back. 48 yards on the throwback to Kenny Hill from Kavontae Turpin.
Hill kind of leak over to that side of the field. Look at Turpin, pretty good ball. And then it's David Long really with the only opportunity for a West Virginia defenseman to get after him. And after that, it's Hill with the speed. I mean, that's the kind of athleticism that we've seen from Kenny Hill throughout the course of the season so far. We haven't seen in this game. And coming into today's game, Will Greer's 2nd for a quarterback in the Big 12 rushing. Kenny Hill's 3rd.
Never thought we'd be saying run after the catch as it relates to Kenny Hill entering today.
Well, look. After a 7-yard pickup, first down at the 48. Hatcher in at quarterback for Bonner. Hatcher, watch a trick play here. It's deep throw, wide open, touchdown. Arkansas State, Rashad Paul as Jeff Foreman threw a strike. That is how you do it right there. Arkansas State crosses the 50. They go into their bag of tricks, and boom, they score a touchdown. Here's Foreman coming from the offense's left side. Hatcher's going to snap him the football, toss it back to Foreman. That's a backwards pass, and then Paul wide open down the rail. That's a beautiful pass from Jeff Foreman.
The Michigan 44. Sorsby steps up. They want a trick play here. Here's the pass, wide open, touchdown Lucas. Indiana, a 44-yard strike as Donovan McCulley put it on a rope.
Donovan McCulley is a former quarterback, started a couple of games last year. Sorsby does a great job stepping up in the pocket so that this first pass is backwards. You see McCulley just gets it off of the turf, and then you see the arm, and Lucas is wide open. A clear breakdown.
Well, he is a former quarterback at Jacksonville. Trick play, return pass, Turner makes a cut. Makes another. There he goes. He has blockers with him. Calvin Turner down to the 10-yard line. What a play. 34 yards. There was a lot going on there.
That's how they drew it up. They got the ball outside on one edge to Cordero in that kind of reverse motion, and then Cordero throws a forward pass to Turner. And it's basically, at that point, a screen game with the offensive line coming across to wall everybody off. And
back to Thorne. Deep ball, end zone. Reed! Touchdown! Michigan State. Touchdown throw, Thorne to Reed. Michigan State on the board.
I said put it in his belly, and then they did, and then he flipped it back to him. And again, just all comes from Kenneth Walker III. Reimer out of position, safety's out of position. Reed too much speed inside one step.
Actually by the goal line. Rush, stepping up, throwing to Kroll, catches the lateral. Here comes Willis. Willis racing to the end zone. Touchdown! Unbelievable! Central Michigan does it!
The ruling on the field is touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
I've never seen anything like that. Cooper Rush did not have the arm strength to get the ball all the way down into the end zone for a conventional Hail Mary. So they get it to Kroll, who's able, while he's going down, to flip it to the former high school quarterback, Corey Willis, who ran about 50 yards across the field to take it to the house.
51 yards.
Here's Kroll right here. You're going to see Rush put everything he can into it, and it's not going to get to the end zone. Kroll does a great job of getting and letting it go immediately. What a play, and it had to be called that way. They came out of the huddle expecting to do that and pulled it off. People here are blown away. Now, was he in the end zone clean? He's got the lean. He's got the stretch. It looked like that left knee was down, but I think the ball was over in time. Ashton Lamb,
the quarterback of the two-quarterback system. Early trick action here. Looking long and settling short. And it's Cole Herdman. And why not? The big tight end will get in.
was some check down, Spencer.
It was a check down, and Tim, from the side up here, what you could see was the set of the offensive line as if they were setting up. You knew something. If it wasn't a run, that it was some type of play where they knew they had to shore up protection. I knew they were up to something. Tight end goes down the field, does a nice job of getting open.
Inches for a first down.
Nice, Larry. That's the shot I'm talking about.
There it is. Over the middle. It's caught. Touchdown. Devon Valet. Just like Oklahoma towards the end of the game today, they go for the dagger and complete it. 37 yards.
Delay here, man, shows you the nice play action to draw everybody up. Those two safeties come up, and again, Rising does a nice job of putting just enough air under it. He almost took too much velocity off of it to allow the defender to come back.
Good balance, distributing the ball all over the place. They're going to open with a trick play. They've got Nixon behind the D. He's going to go. The game changes in the blink of an eye.
Tremendous patience. You're going to see the safety Dismute come all the way in. You're going to see Dixon have enough patience. Right, you've got to sell this just a little bit. Sell it just a little bit. And by doing so, look at the green grass in Montez. You got somebody that open. What you cannot do is overthrow it. Just let your playmakers have a chance. I think we just talked about this in the third quarter. Chenault and KD, two best offensive players you have. And they finally got a vertical opportunity.
Colorado had less than 200 yards all day, and then 96 on one trick play. And how about the guts by Jay Johnson and Mel Tucker to go for it there, backed into their own end. Now, it's a trick play. They'll flip it back to Wilkins. He's got a wide open man. It works to perfection. It's a barrage touchdown. 39 yards, trickery, and a score for the Ducks.
So many things going on right now. You got the handoff, what looks to be the reverse that was pitched back, then you find Barrage down the field all by himself.
Interesting formation. Straight ahead. DTR inside the 50. It'll be another UCLA first down.
Chip Kelly always loves a little bit of voodoo like this. DTR just does a little number count, says, hey, 2 on 2, that's good.
Every morning they would go outside and have football school, working on technique. Thompson to Armstrong, deep to Henry. A little trickeration from the Wahoos and a touchdown for Virginia. Touchdown!
Wow, what a play there. You know, when Keaton Thompson's in the game, you expect him to hold on to that ball, but he pitched it back to Brennan Armstrong, who threw a perfect strike to Rashad.
52 yards.
Sean Henry coming up with the play here.
So now Rashawn Henry as the Cavalier, 3 catches and 3
defense, because even with a field goal here, it keeps it at a 2-possession game. There was some trouble. They throw it. Oh my goodness! No way! A broken field goal results in a touchdown for Troy Grizzle. Oh!
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than be good. And we've talked so many times with wet conditions, you have to watch those snaps. Just fumbles it a little bit, and they've got that fire drill. when there's a bad snap, Grizzle.
Bransky's legs might be critical here to save time on throwing the ball.
Down the middle, James, the lateral to the corner of the end zone. Can you believe that?
And how about Jared Zabransky and his redemption after the interception, the hook and lateral, and it goes in. This is beautiful. Shades of Utah Fiesta Bowl 2004.
Boy, is that, look at the execution.
It's perfect. And look at Louis Baker ran right by him because he wasn't expecting that at all.
And he's behind center, and the quarterback Zabransky is in motion. They do this a lot. Peretta to take the snap. He's going to throw it to the end zone. Touchdown!
They're going to go for two, guys. I'm telling you. They are tired. Listen, when you're Cinderella, at a certain point, you don't keep slugging with the big guy. They're going to try and win the football game right now. That's what I'm telling you.
Well, you know Oklahoma will spend a timeout. This is the touchdown. Well, you talk about guts as a play
I'm
caller.
telling you. Run pass right.
Boise State for the win. They hand it off to Johnson. Boise State has won the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Can you believe it? It doesn't get much better than that.
They went on a Statue of Liberty play.
Earlier in the season, they ran that look, and they threw a quick screen out of that formation, and this was the counter to it. They knew it was on tape. Oklahoma seen it. They threw it out there to Nene, and this time they fake it and hand it off the old Statue of Liberty, and no one better than Ian Johnson with the year he's had. And that football was supposed to go in the trophy case, but someone else has got it now.
Yeah, Charles, let's go back to coaching here. He knows that Oklahoma has studied every film they have.
That's it.
They know every two-point conversion. They're going to defend. Bobby Stoops' team's coached well enough. They're going to defend what they saw. They come back with the counter.